Question: how does content help your business make more money? In this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways businesses can use content to make more money. If you like to create more content while doing less work, drop a line below and I'll give you my entire process that helps me create 30 plus pieces of content in under an hour. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Maurice A. Davis, and over the last 5 years, I've helped over 500 businesses. I help service businesses launch shows that get them a flood of customers without spending a ton of money. So here's the problem. Businesses want to create content, or at least I believe you do. Otherwise, you would not be watching this video. So the question then becomes, how do I create content that supports the primary goal of my business, which is to make money? Jay Abram talks about there's only 3 ways to grow a business. And the first one is we can get more customers, we can increase our order value, or we can get them to buy more often. More often than not, people are creating content and it lives within this space here. It is focused around getting more customers. And there's nothing wrong with that. But here's the problem. That means that of the rest of the process, right? We said Jay Abram had 3 ways. Then we leave 2 of the other ways that we look at getting more money for our business on the table. So let's talk about how we use content at each one of the stages. When we think about how do I get more customers, well, that's how do I grow my audience, right? Using content to get attention, answering questions online that gets more people to subscribe to your channels. It is getting leads, creating things that people want to download. It is converting more, using things like social proof in order to get people to buy your stuff. Those are the ways that we're always constantly beating and looking like, okay, I get this content stuff, but it's really not helping. So how do I use it in the other fashions of how do I use my content to increase the value? Well, number one, a really easy way is we can use it to explain the value of the product bundles or upsells that we have, right? So we can use guides, how-to videos, blog posts, not just to talk about the problem, but also talk about the multifacets of the solution that you have to offer, or all the other problems that come up when your customer solves the first problem. Thus, priming our customer to purchase more items, more objects, right? So how do I use my content? What are some other ways, right? We can do educational content around customer success stories, talking more about what the customer did with the full solution versus maybe the initial problem that brought a customer in. Listen, when we're in the front end of this process of trying to gain attention, most of us, what we're talking about are the problems that our customers are dealing with. They don't know what solution they need. And so as we're walking them through the journey, if we focus too much on solving the problem with the singular solution, what happens is the customer believes that one product or one service will solve the ultimate problem, whereas professionals, oftentimes we know that it's a multifaceted problem that requires multiple solutions, but you have to show how the multiple elements of a solution will ultimately get to the customer to the end objective. So we talked about getting more customers. Now, we talked about increasing value, but how do I get them to finally, how do I get them to buy more often? Well, this tends to be a function of your business, right? If you sell something that is transactional in nature, then you have to understand that this may require you to create more. But we see this in things like mastermind groups. Right? You purchase their product. They know that you're going to need long-term support in order to get the most out of it. This is where groups and communities come in. We see this when maybe what we're doing is offering some sort of book or additional thing that you can buy after you've already purchased the product or service, because it does require a learning curve, right? If I sell a software service, I may train you how to use the software, but then I also may have some sort of like certification that makes you an administrator or whatever. We have to look at what is it that our customer ultimately wants. And then sometimes in order to provide that, it means that we have to create additional solutions. But where we find out where we're lacking is oftentimes using our content in order to uncover those issues. We can also use this section right here, this buy more, to promote additional referrals, right? So those are just 3 ways that you can use content in order to develop your business. Don't get stuck in this first piece, right? Too many businesses get stuck on how do I get more customers with my content. If you have a functioning business that is doing well, you may need to look at the other two areas first in order to make this content stuff make sense for your business. If you would like a process that shows you how to make 30 plus pieces of content in under an hour, drop a line below and I'll give you my entire process so you don't have to worry about